Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 345 in my countdown to retirement. So today started off the day like normal. Made a bacon and egg breakfast. Um, you know, Checked my portfolio in the morning. Read the financial news. Just kicked off the day in my normal way. Then I'd gotten a notice that uh, the pest company had come by and done my house and tried to charge my credit card, and the card had expired since the last time they used it, so it got a decline message. So I went in, updated the record so they had an updated card with all the right relevant information so they could recharge it, which they then subsequently did, and everything got cleared up. Then my mom had a specific position she's been trying to get out of in the stock market, a metals position, since early in December. And with the market rally that happened today, I finally could get the price that she wanted. So I sold her out of that position. And then I moved her, all of her free cash, into the Schwab U.S. Treasury Money Fund, SNSXX. And then I made some albacore salad for lunch because I don't like eating it when it's not cold. So I mixed up the stuff, put it in the fridge, went on with my day. And then later I watched the swearing in of Marco Rubio as the Secretary of State. So that was the first cabinet secretary that got approved and sworn in for the Trump administration. Then I watched the halftime report on CNBC, and while I was watching that, at the end of the report, they had a news briefing indicating that there was going to be an announcement at 4 o'clock with Trump and Masusan and Larry Ellison from Oracle and Sam Altman from OpenAI, and they were going to do some kind of JV. So the Oracle stock, which I happen to own some of, started skyrocketing today. I think before the end of the day, I want to say it was up like 7% or thereabouts, and after hours it was up like another 3%, because the subsequent announcement came out and said they were going to invest like $500 million in building out AI infrastructure, starting with 10 data centers in Texas, which quite honestly doesn't make a lot of sense to me, that it would be in the Texas region, but it is what it is, I guess. And then they said to expand to other states. And the company I work for, we use Oracle Cloud, which is abbreviated OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, as one of our main clouds. We also use AWS. We also use a hybrid cloud that we have built on-prem, and then we use a small amount of Google and Microsoft Azure. But most of our work is done in Oracle. And I will say, one of the reasons I got into Oracle from a stock perspective was they were giving aggressive pricing. Their customer service and their account teams were doing really great. But I will also say in the last year, as they've grown and picked up business, they've gotten kind of overwhelmed. Their support's dropped off. And, they, they really need to ramp up some of their I guess really some of their personnel, because while the account teams are still pretty good, the support teams have gotten really slow in responding to anything. So that's unfortunate, but it's a growing pain, I guess. Uh, anyway, then my sister's birthday is coming up soon, so I logged into Amazon, to put together like a e-gift card to send to her. And then I also checked, some things that I need to buy myself, like milk thistle, which I use for liver health, and magnesium glycinate, which I use before I go to sleep at night. And then it's really part of a ritual of magnesium glycinate, potassium citrate, and Redmond's real salt that I use in proportions that are similar to Element for the carnivore diet, so that you keep your electrolytes in balance. So anyway, I don't like adding it to water and drinking it, so basically I end up taking 3 pills and, drinking it down with some water. And for me, it gives me exactly the same quantity, and, it solves all the same problems. I don't get cramps. You know, I don't get any of the normal things that you get when you go through the, keto flu or the carnivore flu, when you are running low on electrolytes. Anyway, I put that into a cart, saved the cart for later, so I could see whether the prices would change or not. I then watched Closing Bell on CNBC at 3 o'clock. Once that was over, um, I went and checked the ads that were available for grocery stores. So I checked Kroger and Publix and Aldi's and Lidl and Sprouts. And at Kroger, starting tomorrow, for those of you that are interested, they've got Jimmy Dean bacon, 12 ounces for $3.99 a package. Marie Calendar bowls, 4 for $10. Boar's Head American cheese for $7.49 a pound, and Boar's Head oven gold turkey breast at $9.99 a pound, all at Kroger. And then at Publix, they have the Publix brand oven roasted turkey breast at $7.99 a pound. And then they've got BOGOs on Progressive soup, which nets out to $1.55 each. Hunt's tomatoes, 28-ounce cans for $1.90 each. For those of you who eat bread, they also have Nature's Own honey wheat bread, 20-ounce loaf for $2.30 each. And Mrs. T's pierogies. I don't know what, I want to say the price is like $2.39 normally, so it'd be half that, whatever. And then Sprouts, really the only thing that I found interesting there was you could either get their 40-60 count peeled and deveined wild shrimp, or the wild Texas wild caught frozen shrimp, not cleaned and deveined, in a 16 to 20 count. Either one of those is $8.99 a pound. So if you're looking for shrimp, that's one possibility. And then Aldi is TBD. I'll check that in the morning. And at Lidl, for those of you who happen to like baby back ribs, they've got Smithfield fresh baby back ribs for $2.79 a pound, which is a good price. And then they've got wild caught cod fillets for $6.99 a pound. And they also have shrimp, Gulf cod shrimp at 31 to 40 count. That's $5.99 a pound. So anyway, that's kind of the shopping things that I put on my list to evaluate for the coming week, based on this week's sales. Then I needed to figure out, waiting for my so my wife worked part-time through April of last year, and then she retired. And so, she made whatever it is, some number, through that period of time. I'm waiting for her W-2 to come in so I can know what the actual gross amount of income was that she generated, so then I can make a contribution for last year for her for a Roth IRA. And then I think the new Roth contribution limit for 2024 for anyone over 55 with catch-up contributions, I believe, was $8,000, although I need to check. But in any event, I'm waiting for her number to come in so I know up to the 8,000 what's the number I can put in for her, and then myself. And then also I try to keep 3 months of expenses in an uninvested cash account that we use just as our, I'll just say, working capital. So I try to keep 3 months of expenses sitting in our checking and savings accounts, which are very low interest, and then I try to move over any amount of money above the 3 months that we might have, in extra cash, over into a brokerage account that I can then put into some other investment, whether that's T-bills or some equities, whatever. So today I was figuring out, what our expenses were as of the end of December, calculating the 3 month working capital number that we needed, and then determining how much extra, if any, that we had that I could move over. So I did make that determination. then made chicken wings in the air fryer, so that became our dinner, and then subsequently did an end of day review of our portfolio because I just wanted to figure out, obviously Trump's inauguration was yesterday. Today was a pretty good rally day on Wall Street, and I wanted to figure out um, how my portfolio did with what I currently own, with the quote unquote Trump trade happening kind of right now. So net net, we ended up being up just a tad over 0.5% for the day across the portfolio. Um, but then they also looked into like what my allocation is right now, uh, you know, across the portfolio, and that is I've got 46.96% of the portfolio is in U.S. large cap, 16.11% is in U.S. small cap, only 0.02% is in international, 27.35% is in U.S. Treasuries, and 9.56% is in uninvested cash that I've been sitting there waiting for a pullback to be able to put into equities, um, but not at the current valuations. I feel like there'll be a volatility drop at some point here of 5+%, and I can, act on that accordingly and put that additional cash to work in the market. So that's my current allocation. Curious to find out like what you guys have, if you're willing to share. So please let me know. Um, but one of the things I was most surprised by is as part of that small cap allocation. I, well, really, I guess my small cap allocation in energy did really, really well leading up to and then into, well, leading up to Trump inauguration, and then clearly with his executive orders yesterday on declaring a energy emergency. The pipeline companies did very, very well today. But it was interesting to me that the exploration companies, and I happen to own, as an example, EOG, didn't do well today. It was down. And the refining companies, which I also own, in this example would be Marathon Petroleum, also down. But the pipeline companies to move it from point A to point B, regardless of the price of oil, they were doing good. And obviously, uh, with Trump's statement around drill baby drill, that assumes that the energy companies actually want to produce more, and they want to invest that money in the drilling operations with the cost potentially of oil going down, which really doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them. And they much rather, and over the years have learned that they rather return capital to shareholders in another way, dividends, buybacks, to watch the stock price go up versus invest that money in additional production. But anyway, it's just an interesting exercise to try and watch within a sector that you think potentially will do well, how one specific small section of that sector does well, but the rest of the sector not so well. And similar things happen in healthcare and financials, whatever. Like the financial sector's been doing really well, and depending on what you own there, you've gotten outsized returns. Anyway, love to hear you guys' thoughts, but that's my update for today. If you care to leave comments, please do so in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow, and have a great evening. Until then, take care.